A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Sacramento. Governor Gavin Newsom's plan to temporarily redraw California's congressional districts has sparked a heated debate, revealing a complex landscape of voter sentiment and political strategy. A recent poll conducted by the UC Berkele Institute of Governmental Studies for the Los Angeles Times indicates that while more voters support Newsom's redistricting initiative than oppose it, a significant number remain undecided, leaving the measure's future uncertain. The poll revealed that 46% of registered voters believe the redistricting plan is a good idea, compared to 36% who think otherwise. Interestingly, when asked about voting on the proposed temporary gerrymandering efforts in a potential statewide special election this November, 48% indicated they would vote in favor, while nearly a third stated they would vote against it, and 20% remained undecided. Mark DiCamillo, director of the Berkeley IGS poll, noted, "That's not bad news. It could be better. With ballot measures, you'd like to be comfortably above 50% because you got to get people to vote yes. And when people are undecided or don't know enough about initiatives, they tend to vote no just because it's the safer vote." The stakes are high in this political battle as the redistricting efforts could significantly influence the balance of power in the U.S. House of Representatives, where Republicans currently hold a slim majority. Newsom and Democratic leaders argue that California must respond to Texas's aggressive redistricting efforts, which have created 5 new Republican-leaning congressional seats, potentially solidifying GOP control. California's redistricting initiative aims to counteract these gains, at least temporarily, with new maps set to affect the 2026, 2028, and 2030 congressional elections. However, critics of the plan argue that it undermines the state's independent redistricting commission, which was established to prevent partisan manipulation of electoral boundaries. The partisan divide over this issue is stark, with nearly 70% of Democratic voters supporting the redistricting measure, while 72% of Republicans oppose it. The debate has drawn attention from prominent figures, with former President Obama endorsing the initiative and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, a moderate Republican, expressing his opposition. The legislative process has not been without its challenges. This week, Republicans in Sacramento voiced their concerns during legislative hearings, labeling the redistricting effort as partisan maneuvering. They even attempted to halt the process by filing an emergency petition with the state Supreme Court, claiming that Democrats were rushing the proposal through the legislature in violation of the California Constitution. However, the High Court dismissed the legal challenge on Wednesday. The pace of the redistricting effort has been rapid, with newly proposed maps released late last week, followed by lawmakers introducing legislation to place the measure on the ballot. By Thursday, the California legislature approved the bills, ensuring the redistricting initiative will appear on the November ballot. Newsom, who has become the face of this redistricting campaign, has seen a rise in his approval ratings as he positions himself against Trump and Republican leaders. Recent polling indicates that more voters now approve of Newsom's job performance, with a 51% approval rating compared to 43% disapproval. This marks a notable shift from April when voters were evenly split. The poll also highlights that 59% of respondents support Newsom's confrontational stance toward Trump, while only 29% prefer a more cooperative approach. Notably, younger voters aged 18 to 29 show overwhelming support for Newsom's role as a leading critic of Trump, with 71% backing his approach. Political analysts suggest that Newsom's visibility and assertiveness in the redistricting battle have transformed what could have been a liability into an advantage. Matt Lesniak, an assistant professor of political science at Cal State Long Beach, commented that Newsom's rising national profile amid the contentious congressional map debate has provided him an opportunity to broaden the campaign's message. If he keeps this pace up, he's right on a pressure point, Lesniak stated. However, the path to victory in November will require converting undecided voters into supporters. Among Latino, Black, and Asian voters, nearly 30% remain uncertain about their stance on the redistricting proposal. Women also exhibit higher rates of indecision compared to men, with 25% of women undecided versus 14% of men. Younger voters are similarly divided, with nearly a third of those aged 18 to 29 unsure of their vote, compared to just 11% of those over 65. Even within the Democratic base, skepticism persists, with 1 in 5 Democrats remaining undecided on the proposal, and a quarter of voters with no party affiliation expressing uncertainty. Political scientist Eric Schickler, co-director of the Berkeley Institute that conducted the poll, emphasized the challenge of asking Californians to temporarily relinquish control of redistricting to politicians after voters established an independent process. Voters don't trust politicians, Schickler remarked. On the other hand, voters see Trump and don't like what he's doing. And so it was really a test to see which of those was more powerful, and the results suggest, at least for now, Newsom's winning that argument. As the campaign progresses, the focus will be on mobilizing undecided voters and solidifying support for the redistricting measure ahead of the November election. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.